man and a woman were killed over the weekend in an apparent murder-suicide. It's reported that on the 9th of October, 22-year-old Deandra Minger called his ex-girlfriend 23-year-old Tamara Sawyer earlier in the day and showed up in a house located in the 4100 block of Rain Willow Court in Houston, Texas at around 3 p.m. They went into her bedroom to have a casual chat, and about 10 minutes later, other family members in the house said they heard 3 gunshots. When they went to check out what happened, they saw Tamara had been shot, and the man still had the gun. As family members were calling 911, they told investigators they heard more gunshots. When authorities showed up at the house, they found Deandra and Tamara dead in the bedroom. The authorities said the two had been in an on and off relationship since high school. Family members said they broke up about a month ago. It's reported that there were 3 other adults inside the house at the time of the shootings, including the woman's current boyfriend. No one else was injured. Family members said there was no signs of domestic violence between the two. Tamara was described by her family as a very sweet person who loved fashion and was studying to be a nurse. She was originally from Ohio, but moved to Houston, where she was raised by her aunt. She was the youngest in her family and graduated from Madison High School. 27-year-old Malik Price is behind bars for allegedly beating a man to death with a brick. At 11:57 p.m. on the 3rd of October, the authorities responded to the 4200 block of South Las Vegas Boulevard in Las Vegas, Nevada, on a report of an unresponsive man laying on the ground that looked as if he'd been shot in the head. When officers arrived at the scene, they found Christopher David laying on the ground and a large decorative brick beside the man had been used to strike him in the head, and he was pronounced dead at the scene. 2 witnesses made contact with the officers, and one of them said he had been punched by an unknown suspect, who was later identified as Malik. Investigators then contacted someone at a nearby Motel 8, who said Malik had tried to sell him a gun and was rambling about leaving a blood trail. Minutes later, officers saw Malik walking down Las Vegas Boulevard and took him into custody. Evidence found at the scene later revealed that the tread of Malik's shoes matched a footprint found near Christopher's body. He also had blood on his pants and shoes. In an interview with police, officers struggled to advise Malik of his rights because he kept ranting on about various non-relevant topics. When Malik eventually said he understood his rights and officers began questioning him, the interview went nowhere. It's reported that Malik kept referring to Jesus Christ, but then would jump to Navy SEALs and the Marine Corps involved in the 9/11 attacks, adding that Malik then became upset and allegedly tried to punch and kick detectives. When the investigators stopped the interview and tried to take DNA evidence, he said, "I did it. I'm a filthy murderer. Yep, I hit him upside with a tombstone. I saw a sign to be a violent gentleman today," he said. While Malik was transported to the Clark County Detention Center, Malik told the officers that he killed the man in cold blood, and if he was let out of jail, he'll become a serial killer. Malik has been held at the Clark County Detention Center on an open murder charge. 23-year-old Eugene Sneed of Mobile, Alabama is behind bars and is accused of deliberately burning his 1-year-old daughter, causing her to be admitted to the ICU. It's alleged that on the 2nd of October, Eugene poured boiling water down his daughter's throat, resulting in severe burns and internal injuries. The child's mother, Victoria Lett, said her daughter Royalty has burns covering 19% of her head and she's fighting for her life. Victoria was reportedly at an event when the incident happened. When she returned, she said she noticed Royalty's face, head and shoulder looked messed up. Victoria and other family members rushed Royalty to the University of South Alabama's Children and Women's Hospital, where Royalty is undergoing treatment for internal injuries, as well as burns to her face. Her lungs are reportedly critical. Victoria said, "That's how we know it was done purposely. I said it was an intentional thing that he did." Eugene is charged with aggravated child abuse and first-degree domestic violence. He's held at the Mobile County Jail without bond. Eugene was out on bond when he allegedly burnt Royalty in relation to a separate incident in 2020 when he allegedly shot at the mother of one of his children and at the child who was 1 at the time, while other children were in the house. 5 people have been killed in a shooting inside a South Carolina home over the weekend. At around 7:45 p.m. on the 9th of October, the authorities discovered the bodies of 4 people who were fatally shot inside a home on Bobo Drive in the town of Inman. The authorities have so far released the names of 4 of the victims, being 37-year-old Thomas Anderson, 32-year-old Adam Morley, 59-year-old Mark Hewitt, and 19-year-old Roman Roca. Roman was initially found alive and was rushed to the Spartanburg Regional Medical Center, but died during surgery. The identity of one of the victims is still pending. It's reported that none of the victims were related, and they're all adults, and all were found in different areas of the house. The coroner reported that the victims died from gunshot wounds, and some had been shot multiple times. A family member of the victim said a neighbour found the scene and called 911. It's unclear how long the victims had been dead inside the house before they were discovered, but a neighbour reportedly heard gunshots the day before the bodies were found. A suspect or a motive behind the shooting has not been disclosed. Since the investigation's in its early stages, no further details have been released at this time.